You say that you want to grow, and that's amazing. But what are you willing to sacrifice for that growth? You've got to make a sacrifice that unfortunately 99.5% of people are terrified to make. And that sacrifice is honestly just letting that old version of you die. And yeah, I know it sounds dark and depressing, I'm letting the old version of me die. It doesn't sound fun, but stop looking at it as a dark and depressing thing. The same way that a butterfly lets the old version of it die. That's what we need to do. That's what we have to do. That's the sacrifice that we have got to make if we want to actually grow and succeed the way that we say we do. And let's be honest, you say every single day, I want to change, I want to grow, I want to become somebody different, I want to be that new version of me. Yet you're still holding on to the same habits. You're still holding on to the same bad friends. You're still holding on to the same memories. You're still holding on to that same negative environment that you cannot grow in. A lot of people want to go from A to B, thinking that they can just drive the car to wherever they need to be. But what they're not understanding is that in order to get from A to B, you have got to let go of A. You've got to completely forget about A. You've got to completely put that in your past and just set out for B. I say that I want to be disciplined, but I'm holding on to laziness. I say that I want to be physically fit, but I'm holding on to a poor diet. I say that I want to be financially free, but I'm holding on to poor spending habits. You cannot become that new version of you that actually has success if you're still holding on to those negative habits. And there's a reason that I'm not saying that you have to just improve the person that you are, because yes, of course, that's the ultimate goal, but I'm saying that you have to let that previous version of you die, because a lot of us love to hold on. And we like to be in the middle ground. We like to feel like we can teeter between both sides. We like to believe that we can hold on to this lifestyle and still find this new lifestyle. That's not how that works. There is no renovation. There is no almost new. There is a new version of you and there is an old version of you. There is no middle ground. There is no teetering between both sides. There is no wishy-washy. It's either yes or no. Are you that person or are you not? Did that old version of you die or is he still you? You're either that new version of you or you're not. It's as simple as that. I can use me as an example. The old version of me, I feel like I was very unconfident. I was insecure about a lot of things. And it's not like I just teetered between confidence and unconfidence. I had to choose. I chose confidence. I couldn't say that, I'm in between confidence today. No, that's not how that works. It's either I'm a confident person or I'm not a confident person. I was tired of being that person that was scared to raise their hand in class. I was tired of being that person that was too nervous to talk to somebody. I had to let that version of me die. I had to tell myself that I am not you anymore. And then that's how I grew. And that's another thing. You can only grow when you no longer identify to that version of you that you used to be. I forgot what video I put this in, but I know for sure I use this example. But just imagine two people that are addicted to smoking. Right? One of them says, I'm not really trying to smoke anymore. I'm working hard to make that version of me disappear. Versus the other person that just says, nah, I don't smoke anymore. The second person, he killed that old version of himself. That person no longer identifies with that addiction that he had. He no longer identifies with those negative habits that he had. Whereas the first person is trying their absolute hardest to act like they don't conform with that identity anymore. But in reality, if you're split between personas, you're always just going to be that persona that you were before. There are a lot of people that walk through life wanting to be disciplined. So they think to themselves, I'm going to be disciplined today. They're working as hard as possible. They're disciplined for this one day. And then the next day they're like, I was disciplined yesterday. Give me a break. This is my cheat day. I'm sorry. I can guarantee you that person will never find success. It's impossible. If you're playing between both sides, it's not possible for you to find success at all. You might be somebody that's constantly disrespected. If you're sick of that, let it go. You might be somebody that constantly overthinks. If you're sick of that, let it go. You might be somebody that hates to set boundaries. If you're sick of that, let it go. Stop overcomplicating things. Stop watching 25,000 videos on how to stop overthinking. Stop watching 25,000 videos on how to be confident. Just let that version of you die. Let that version of you that can't have what they want to have die. That person doesn't need to be around you anymore. And don't misconstrue this to me saying that you have to be inauthentically yourself and put on a character to be more confident, blah, blah, blah. Because I would argue that that person that is insecure, that person that's not confident, that person that constantly overthinks, that's not you. That's not the authentic version of yourself. That's a character that you're putting on. That is an inauthentic version of you that needs to go. This person is not benefiting you. They're not helping you. They're only holding you back. And you might be thinking to yourself, how exactly can I do that? I mentioned it early in the video. You have to just no longer identify with whatever that is you are. I no longer identify with insecurity. I no longer identify with disrespect. These things are things that I just won't stand for in my life anymore. And all it took was me just saying, I don't agree with that. Every single time I'm in a position where I feel like I have to not be confident, I just say to myself, wait a second, I don't agree with that. I don't identify with insecurity. I'm a different person than that. The more that you tell yourself something, the more applicable it becomes to your real life. And the more that becomes your reality. I told myself that I was confident, so I started acting confident. It's as simple as that. It sounds complicated. We want it to be complicated. I understand that, right? If it's complicated, that means we have an excuse if it doesn't work. But I'm telling you, it's a lot simpler than you're trying to make it seem. If you're overweight and somebody looks at you trying to make fun of you, just say, oh, that doesn't bother me. Even if it hurts your feelings, even if you feel like, I'm gonna go home and cry, you better cry alone and tell that person, yeah, I don't really care about that. I don't care that you just said that to me. I'm confident. Even if you don't believe it, because the more that you apply that to your life, the more you're going to start believing it. I remember I used to be very insecure about my personality, but I've always tried to be that funny guy that made people laugh. And then one time this person just looked at me and said, you're not funny. You never will be. You're not a comedian. And this is when I started understanding that I can change my identity. I can change, who I align with. So I looked this person in the face and I said, I don't really care. I make myself laugh and the people around me are laughing too. Man, I'm telling you, I went home, I cried that day, bro. I was so sad, I was sick to my stomach. That man hurt my feelings to my core, but I told myself, I don't care. And eventually that became the standard for me. So yeah, I told him, I don't care what you think. And even though I didn't believe that when I said it, eventually I started to believe that. And that's the mentality that I have moving forward. So I guess the entire theme of what I'm trying to say is that you don't have to align with that person that you used to be. You can make an articulate choice to be different. And I'm not saying that it's easy, but it is definitely possible. And I do want to say one more thing. If you're somebody that does think that that old version of you is insufficient, you feel unconfident, you feel insecure, you feel like your personality isn't what it's meant to be, I'm not saying that those emotions aren't valid, because those feelings are for sure valid. I understand how you feel. I was that person before. And I'm not saying that you have to change your personality or that there's something wrong with you physically or mentally or whatever. What I am saying is that if you want to become the best version of you, you have got to get rid of those negative feelings. And you do that by killing that old version of you. I'm not saying to kill that personality you had or kill the, physique that you had or kill whatever you had in the past. I'm saying kill that mentality that I am not good enough. Kill that mentality that I can't get the things that I want. Because you can be unfunny and find success. You can be, quote unquote ugly and find success. You can be a weird person and find success. Success comes in all shapes and sizes. Millions of people have gotten success. The only thing is that the people that have gotten success have killed that version of themselves that doesn't think that they can achieve that success. So yeah, guys, just think about that stuff. I appreciate you for watching. See y'all next time. Peace out.